Man, 90-degree weather is on the horizon and I cannot wait. Dude, I love the heat, I hate the cold, and I know I don't even really deal with the cold, and why am I starting a video talking about weather? Let's just get started.
And now, you're watching the part hot, part frozen hot pocket channel of YouTube. Welcome to BodeVision.
So what is up and welcome, thank you so much for joining me on another video. In this video we're going to start working on the seat delete for the Integra. As you know, in the last video we started working on the interior and I want to keep some of that momentum going. So when I got this car there was just a whole bunch of parts sitting around and they were a dusty mess because they were sitting for years. This panel is a perfect example. Look how... So that's one of the back panels. We have the other back panel already and I have to make a cut in it to make sure that it fits around the cantilever suspension setup, and we got to get that in the car, and then I want to start to make my template, and I'll get into more details as we get there. So as you can see, I had to use my hole saw and make a little hole for that bar to go through there. And this panel itself is not in great condition, so I'm just kind of winging it. I'm going to get new panels, and those are the panels that I'm going to take my time on. This one, if we can just trim them back, and then on the new panels, we'll know exactly where to do what we have to do, because this one's already all broken up and it's fine. So it'll be a great panel for mock-up purposes, and then like I said, once we get a brand new one, that'll be perfect and ready to go. I'll just have to make one nice and clean cut and that'll work out. So the next thing I want to do, those panels that I just cleaned up, I gotta get them put inside the actual car. So everything's in there and it's looking really good for mock-up purposes once I do the panels that are going to be in here, and definitely those will be a lot better. So the way that I want to go about starting this process is I'm going to build the entire rear seat delete out of just cardboard, and then once I have that cardboard, which is going to be the template, I want to then transfer that template to the final material that it'll be. So what I want to do, start to set up the perimeter, get cardboard cut out, and just start chipping away until eventually we get a nice flat template that's going to be the rear seat delete. So we are looking pretty good after just about an hour or two of cutting and trimming, and I like to try to make my videos make it look like I make this easy, but in reality I'm trimming and trimming and trimming and trimming and trimming and continuing to trim until I make it look right. But one of the easy parts is the fact that once you have this side good, that exact line, you can just flip that over onto this piece of cardboard, because this side and this side is a mirror image of each other. So as you can see, we got the Amazon receipts on this side. This is just the bottom of the box, and then that front, I kind of cut it down. So this half is good. And actually, when it comes to the final piece is going to be two pieces, one that's in front of the bar and one piece that's behind the bar, because I'm going to need to be able to get this in there, and there's no way that I could get one solid piece in there with all this and stuff. So my theory is the front piece is going to wrap around this halfway, just like that, and then the back piece is also going to wrap around it halfway and kind of cup on this bar nicely, and then all that'll be covered. And I still want to have the spare tire back here and maybe a couple other things. I might want to try to incorporate the battery back there too, but we'll just have to see. So right now, man, we are making really good progress. I got the front done for the template. Now I want to start to work on the back. Hopefully I got enough cardboard laying around. Man, it is just awesome. Even though it's just mocked up, even though it is just a cardboard, it is awesome to see it in here, kind of see what the bigger picture is gonna look like. And the main reason why I wanted to do this in the first place, well, number one, I did it before on my hatch when I had it a long time ago. Number two, this car didn't even come with back seats. And number three, probably the most important reason, what made me want to do it the most, was the fact of the cantilever suspension setup. It complements it so nicely with these bars going underneath there. I just feel like, boom, that and that is so good, how it just disappears into the floor. And man, it is just so good. I'm so happy to get some stuff done on Project Pepto. And now the next step is I gotta take this template and then transfer it to some wood. I'm just gonna use some thinner plywood. It's gonna be lightweight, it's gonna be nice and strong, and then we're gonna reinforce the bottom with some framing. And so the next step is I gotta actually take this template out of here and then transfer it to the final frame. And I'm gonna take the Ranchero to the store because we haven't drove it in a little while. To get out in the old Ranchero, let it do its thing, let it warm up a little bit, throw some stuff in the bed, and just use it like it was built for. What I got to get out of the store is I'm going to get maybe a half a sheet of plywood, and then also some 1x2 poplar to kind of reinforce the entire frame. And then I also got to pick up just some general shop supplies. I got to do a little bit of restocking. I need some more tape, more razor blades, some more quick wipe down rags, and just some other stuff. So should be in and out pretty quickly. Right now I just want to focus on making the actual frame and the actual structure of the rear seats Elite. And the next video, or a video soon, I'm going to actually focus on the upholstery aspect of the rear seats Elite. So this is just going to be the framing. We're going to be in and out and start to get that mocked up. The wood, man. So as you can see, we transferred it. I took the cardboard template, put it on the wood, cut out the wood. Here we go. And then Now we have what we're gonna actually do, and this is gonna be the actual surface that's inside of the car. I'm gonna have to trim it a little bit more when we get there, but we got the basic shape laid out. Everything looks good to go, and I gotta bring it back to the shop now. So coming back to the shop, I just kind of threw the pieces of wood in there to see how they fit, and there's a couple factors that I didn't really consider, and one of those factors is the fact of those 45-degree bars coming off of the bar that's going completely horizontal. The closer you go down, the further out those holes have to be. In other words, if the cardboard was lower, the hole's gonna be here and here. If the wood is higher, those holes that should be there and there are now a little bit off. I hope that makes sense, but either way, I know exactly how we're gonna work around it. We'll just trim it, add another piece of wood on top, and then another brace on the bottom to make it all one nice piece, and then by the time the batting goes on top of that, and then all the upholstery, then you're not gonna even notice the difference at all, so that'll be just fine. And another thing that's a problem is this back piece is too big to even fit in there at all. I even removed the suspension when I got here this morning just to try to get it to stuff in there, and it wouldn't fit. So I think the way that I'm going to work around that is the back piece is going to be 2 pieces, so it's going to be 3 pieces total, but it'll still be nice and sturdy and nice and stable, and by the time the pattern goes on there and by the time everything else goes on there, it'll look just fine. And at this point, we don't have a choice. Man, so it's in there, and one thing that I always have to remind myself and that I always have to keep in mind is this is a process. Whenever you're making anything, don't judge the process as you're going until it's done. Of course, stuff isn't going to line up after the first hit. It's going to have to be worked quite a bit. We're going to have to make a whole bunch of adjustments, and eventually we'll make it in there nice and perfect, but that's just part of the process. So sometimes I want to get down on myself about the way that it looks, but then I have to remind myself, like I said, it's just part of the process. Some of these gaps right there, I would like to see them closer, but that's just not the way that it happened this time. And also, did you guys see that light that was right there? Let me show you what's going on with this. I had no idea that that wasn't OEM. I don't know why I didn't think twice about it, but look at this. What in tarnation, man? That's a Ford light back there, buddy. So that's not going to go back in there, and I'm just going to have to get the OEM panels and everything OEM because I want the back to look as OEM as possible. So the rundown for the rest of the day for me, I got some stuff to do. I just wanted to run over here this morning, try to wrap up this video, get that test fitted in there, and then go from there. In an upcoming video, I'll go into building out the frame, reinforcing it, doing all the upholstery work, the batting, and then the upholstery, and then the sewing, and all that stuff will soon come. So make sure you subscribe to check that stuff out. I also have some really cool plans tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the next video is what that plan is, what I'm thinking it will be, maybe wheels, we'll see. So that's gonna do it for this one. Do me a favor, check the link down below. That's where I got my merch. I will soon be restocking all sizes, and I don't know if it's gonna be that design, but leave in the comment section below if you're not buying shirts specifically because of the sizes, and if you've already bought some of those shirts, all I have left is a couple medium and a couple large. All your shirts have been shipped out. They're all on the way, and thank you so much for buying them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, check the link down below, do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'm out.